I'm live once again. It is another weekly podcast. Unfortunately, earlier this week we had a snow day from work and school, and I decided that from my TV, which is literally 4 feet in front of me, to where I game at, which is about 7 feet away from me, I couldn't make the distance gap. I couldn't make the travel time, and I had to sit there and I had to play a video game with my kid. I couldn't make the podcast. It was too much of a challenge. So rather than doing the podcast on Tuesday, I just decided it was a whole lot easier to go ahead and just have some fun and hang out with the kid. Way more enjoyable because you get the parent bonding time with the child. So that always makes it fun, exciting, interesting. And the game that we play is GTA 5, which is always a riot when the two of us are playing. We just started a brand new version of GTA 5, so I couldn't do my normal characters, and I didn't stream it because of that reason. So we just ended up hanging out and playing and working on the character. We did like one mission, and I leveled up like 10 levels. Sometimes those are the things that you have to do and take time away from doing these enjoyable activities to spend time with the kids and make sure that they know that those things are important. I was supposed to watch the brand new Sonic Prime with my daughter, but she proceeded to tell me she's already watched it two other times and has seen the first episode three times. So she sucks because I don't get to watch that with her because she already had all the videos downloaded on YouTube and watched them on YouTube because she's a stinker. You got to give her credit. If she can find those things, then it is only a matter of time before I'm going to be in a whole lot of trouble. No, she watches a ton of art stuff on YouTube. What the hell is that? Probably something from work. I don't know what it was from work, but it was probably something from work. Advantages and downfalls of working in a fab shop. You never know exactly what you're going to come home with. Either it be a chunk of metal in your boot or a piece of metal in your eyeball. Or my all time favorite one that I've had recently was something got on my contact and it was messing with my vision. Keep in mind, I have a history of drug and alcohol abuse. Not saying that that's the best thing to have, but I do have a history of it. So I'm getting ready to leave, and everything looks weird. One eye is perfectly normal, the other one is all fucked up. So I go to get gas in the vehicle because obviously I need to put gas in my minivan. Yes, I drive a minivan with an diabolical orange monkey sticker doing this. Whole different story. Get to the gas station, and I go like this, and I look at my speedometer, and it's perfectly fine. And I look at it this way, and it's fucking double vision. I can't see a goddamn thing. It is all kinds of jack whacked. It was the goofiest drive home I have had in a while. And if I went like this, I could see perfectly fine when I opened up the eyes. Part of it was a little blurry and double vision. So it made it for a very, very interesting drive home. And the worst part was I was stone fucking sober. I didn't have an excuse to have double vision. Not like, well, I decided to get fucked up while I was at work. No work stuff required. Depending on the night stuff and depending on how long I've been at a concert, depends on the weird vision. Or if I hit the 24-hour mark of being awake, that's always a fun one, especially trying to drive home. That shit fucking sucks. But yeah, so I had a fun filled double vision with my contacts, got home, cleaned it with the solution, put it back in, perfectly fine the rest of the night. I just can't drive in the dark. That's because monsters are in the dark and they're scary. And they're normal people standing at the side of the road going, go to church, motherfucker. No, driving in the dark is the best part because if you hit something, you can just be like, oh, it was a deer. That was Pastor Jim. Pastor Jim, deer. Either way, I ran over something. Filed under insurance. Squirrel ran out in front of my car. Yeah, I know about the seeing people that aren't there. They're called the shadow people. There's a whole area of a town I used to live in. Until they tore out all the metal structures, I could not drive down that street at night because I saw the shadow people still running through the fucking rafters. And that had been after years and years of that fun, which we all know what those are. It was a fun and exciting period of time in my life. I was working at Pizza Hut and they proceeded to have me do a my last delivery. I get the receipt to where I'm supposed to go. I look at it, I see the address, I go, I know that address. Why the fuck do I know that address? Why does that address seem so familiar? I get there, I pull up, it's my fucking band house where we have our practice at. I show up, normally as a Pizza Hut delivery driver, you got to knock on the door. This one I walk in, just go, "Pizza's here, motherfuckers! Pay me." And then the two biggest guys in the band proceeded to block both the doors out of the house and said I wasn't allowed to leave until I took a shot. This because it was supposed to be my last delivery and I was going to be off work. So I proceed to take the shot. I drive the quarter mile back to the shot or back to the place. They go, "We need you to take another delivery." I was like, "Look, you sent me to the band house." And they just went, "Oh shit." Because they knew the stories, they knew my reputation. I go, "They wouldn't let me leave until I took a shot. So you had a drink?" "Yes, I had a shot." "All right. Thank you for your honesty. You're off the clock for the night. Go home." Like, cool. Went over to the band house and proceeded to have a hell of a party that night. It was quite an enjoyable, interesting time. Pizza Hut did not like me the next day, but I mean, it's Pizza Hut. What do you expect? It was one of the top places to get drugs at through most of the early 2000s and late 90s, come to think of it. All went through that area. Or so I've been told. I did not have any hand in the distribution or content of anything. But knowing some of the people that I worked with, it was kind of understandable. You couldn't miss out. Luckily, my kids are upstairs and don't tune into my podcast and realize their dad is probably completely out of his fucking mind 95% of the time. Like today at work, we were having a conversation in our daily meeting, which I'm allowed to be in these daily meetings, even though I'm probably one of the biggest pain in the asses at the shop because I don't follow all the protocols and procedures and safety guidelines and formats and order of operations. I do what I need to do to get the fucking job done. Let's put it that way. Well, we're sitting there and they're like, "Yeah, the Wi-Fi is just your." One of the guys was like, "Oh, you guys have Wi-Fi down here." It's just, and I was like, "What's the password?" Like, I don't need to use my mobile data. I can just use Wi-Fi. Fuck yeah! I'm gonna be on social media all the fucking time and not be draining my data. He goes, "It's your login account for your email." I started laughing. I go, "What fucking email?" He goes, "You don't have an email?" I'm the one guy that they're not going to give an email to for obvious reasons. And he goes, I hear a lot of people say that, but I don't doubt that from because I've been kind of mouthy at times when we get emails of we need these and we need this and we need this. It's like you realize those are all on different things. I can't cut all of those at the same goddamn time. Send them back and say which one do they want first and get their fucking asses down here to pull it. They do not send that in the email. And I was like, y'all need to give me an email. I'll say that shit. But then I'd probably be in HR 90% of the time at work being like, "What are you in here for?" "I sent another email." "Why'd you send an email?" "'Cause I told them what I want. I thought." "Did it work out for you?" "I'm in here. How well did that fucking work?" So I enjoy doing what I do. And as you can tell, hinting uh certain injuries that all happened at home. Like, speaking of injuries, my kid's first week at his job, which he's been at almost a year. Yeah. Oh, not bad. First job, almost a year. Very impressive. He enjoys having money that he can spend and do whatever the fuck he wants. It's kind of nice. I don't have to buy all of his shit anymore. Just the important things like socks and underwear and shoes, and anything he doesn't want to buy is now dad's responsibility. First week there, he comes home and he's like, "Dad, look what I did to my finger." And his finger's all beat up. "What did you do?" "The cat litter bit me." "The cat litter bit you. You got some explaining to do. How did the cat litter bite you?" He goes, "I moved the box and it smashed my finger." "Did you fill out an accident report?" He goes, "Yeah, I had to fill out one." I was like, "See, that's the difference between you and me. You'll fill out the accident report. I say most of the shit happened at home, unless it's a major thing. Then it's like, nope, nope, I did this." I've only actually filled out, I think, only like 3 in 10 years. Four. I think four, because one of them I snagged my finger on a nail and ripped the shit out of it. And it was all rusty. And since I was at work, I had to go get a tetanus shot. Kind of handy. But I had one for a back injury, one for a hernia and cut the shit out of my finger, and one for taking a slug to the testicle, because I literally look like every America's Funniest Home Videos of a guy getting hit in the balls, just and I fell and hit the floor. About 10 minutes later, I get up, proceed to walk outside to go smoke, walk to the office, tell them I need an accident report because I got hit in the nuts. And he goes, "Where?" I go, "You want me to show you?" He goes, "No, just fill out the fucking accident report. Why are you filling this out?" I was like, "In case I go home and it gets worse, there's documentation of it." See, I'm not a fucking idiot. I enjoy acting like a jackass, but I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about most of the time. Every now and then I can bullshit myself through it. Like for sports, I pay enough attention to it to know what is going on, but I don't pay enough attention to care. Kind of like, I know the Chiefs probably are not going to win the Super Bowl. I'm a Chiefs fan, have been since I was a little kid. It is what it is. Unless Mahomes pulls something out of his ass and does what he does best, they're probably not making it to the Super Bowl. But the one thing I know that's going to happen is the Dallas Cowboys are going to act like a fucking porn star and choke like they have every other goddamn year for the last 30 years since they won a last Super Bowl. Can't say too much. It took the Chiefs like 40. So better watch out, Dallas. You're catching up to where the Chiefs were. But at least those teams have won a Super Bowl, unlike some teams who have not won the Super Bowl. Or the 4 teams that have not made it. See, why do I know this kind of shit? Because I watch a crap ton of random little shorts. There are 4 teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl. I think Detroit's one of them. Texans are. I don't remember the other 2, but there are 4 of them. See, I also know about other sports like Nick Saban. I don't know who the fuck he is. I know he's won a whole bunch of championships at Alabama. But Alabama is Alabama. So, I mean, what do you say? But when I walked up to the guy that I work with, he's always wearing his Alabama shirt. So I walk up and I go, "Dude," to quote the dude from Waterboy, "we suck again." He proceeded to think it was funny and then proceeded to talk to me like I knew everything about Alabama football, which I know Alabama has a football team and they've won 6 national championships. Other than that, I don't fucking care. Kind of like Nebraska. I live here. I don't give a shit about their football team. And when they ask what my college team is, I don't really have one, but I say that since I'm from Kansas, I always rooted for KU and K State. And for the longest time, neither of the KU could not beat a blind deaf team from the fuck was it? A blind paraplegic blind, the school for the quadriplegic blind institute for Stephen Hawking's or something along that line. Like they could not beat them to save their life. It was fucking hilarious. People looked at me a little weird, but then they realized that if there's a school like that, they're probably not the most athletically inclined people. They're very smart, but Obviously, you're going to lose to him because you're going to feel bad if you give a guy in a wheelchair a fucking football and tackle his ass to prove a point. You're not going to look cool. I mean, you can just kind of pick him up and be like, okay, he's down right here. He ain't going any further. We've got him, and then set him down. I mean, that's about the extent of it. You're just not going to fly off NFL blitz style and knock the dude the fuck out. It doesn't work that way. It's not very nice. It's kind of politically incorrect to do. You should not try to dismember the handicapped. It's wrong. It's inappropriate. And it's, I think, politically incorrect or something along that lines. Obviously, I don't know a whole lot about politically correct shit. I know what I think and I know how I act. And speaking of that, my post is getting more comments and it is continuing to get comments. Anybody that is watching this or is paying attention to what I do, I made a joke on there from a few years back. We used to do this thing where we'd shit post on everybody. We'd spam the fuck out of it because you'd say for like X amount of comments, then I'll go do this. That was where I got one of my first YouTube videos from because I proceeded to have my friends spam it just for the simple fact that it was, I think, for like 20,000, I would hit myself in the nuts or something like that. They hit it within like 8 fucking hours, which was impressive, very disturbing because that means that I've got really fucked up friends that want to see me cause and inflict bodily harm to myself. Which, if one of my friends said for 100,000 comments, he would pierce his dick, and we proceeded to spam that for 2 solid fucking days to get to it, which we did, and he got his dick pierced. This shows the level of commitment that we have. But the thing is, I wanted to also see how much Facebook would pay for 1 million comments. I haven't figured out in my head what I think it might be, but I've also got my actual, my real Facebook account where I have family and close friends and things like that, where I post pictures of my kids and related stuff to that. Not as social media goofball. Well, no, they're the same people. But I draw a line where I keep my kids off my social of my Redbeard the hippie account because the world is a crazy fucking place and I've got to keep my kids safe. It's my way of doing that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it makes sense to me because when you have like 500 people on your personal account and you've got 4,000 people on your other social media's accounts, makes it really easy to get some odd looking people in there. Unless I personally know you, I'm not going to add you to my personal account. That's just unfortunately how it is. It's how I've got to keep my kids safe because of the line of work and the content that I and the stuff that I do. I got to draw a line somewhere in the sand. It is what it is, and it works for me. But I made the comment about getting 1 million comments because I wanted to see exactly how much Facebook would actually pay for that. And there is a bonus because it is, you can't ask people to comment and do some dumb shit and spam the fuck out of your account unless you offer something dumb. So I figured letting my kids hit me in the face with a pie. I'm gonna have to let them know, do not fucking try to decapitate me with this pie because I don't need to go to the ER going, okay, I got 1 million comments. Now I gotta spend 4 grand to get my nose fucking fixed and get plastic surgery, and then I'll look like David Duchovny or fucking Brad Pitt. I don't know how they're gonna do a nose job and be like, all right, you can only do from here up. Do not fuck anything up here. Do not shave my beard, or I will come out and it will be an act of grotesque violence if my beard is gone when I wake up. And I'll be trying to figure out where my head's at. But with that being said, we are, and it's just a random thing to see what level of, because Facebook pays so much per, like, how many comments you get, how many likes, how much you say back and forth, just the reach of what you do. So I was curious to see what Facebook would actually put. So far, we're at 306. My personal account has been blocked for 24 hours because you're not supposed to spam people. It's wrong. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to get my name out there if I'm not allowed to post so many comments? What if somebody has a really in fuck type of comment on there and it pisses you off? Like, I don't know. Metal is the worst music ever. Country is the best. That's going to offend me. Even though cowboys do more dope than rock and rollers, because I mean, you got the Cowboys from Hell, David Allen Coe, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. Yeah, I don't think you can really top that group of people. At least not on the drug level. You got well, I mean, you kind of got Kid Rock. He kind of crossed over into that country version, but he's like a country rapper, rock star, R&B, pop, hip hop clusterfuck. He's multi-genre because he can't make up his goddamn mind what the fuck he wants to do. I don't get it. I don't understand. I try not to because "Ball with the Ball" was a cool fucking song, but the rest of it kind of fell off. A little not my thing anymore. But don't really know where I'm going with this. Cowboys, rock and rollers, doing more dope. God, I wish I had like an instant playback to see what the fuck my brain was going with this. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. This is the downfall about where my head goes. It suddenly will pop into something. I'll go on a tangent, go on another tangent, and don't remember what fucking tangent I was going on in the first goddamn place. Huh. Maybe I need to start like writing down, like, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. Oh, yeah. We are talking about million comments. So I wanted to see how many people would actually start posting on it. So far, we are up to 306 comments, which is not too bad. I mean, it's a good start. I've got asshole friends that I love dearly and love to death that are spam posting this because they just want to see me get hit in the face by a pie and live stream it, which is going to be live streamed because if my kids are going to smash me in the face with a pie, it has to be live stream on like whatever. It's not going to be in this area. That is a hell no. I'm not taking pie and or whatever I use, shaving cream or actual pie or whipped cream. Actually, I don't think I can use whipped cream because my daughter will steal all of it before I actually get to use it. But I'm not cleaning it off of all of this stuff because fuck that. That's too much goddamn work. I'm old, I'm lazy, and I don't feel like cleaning a whole bunch of shit. Hell, half the time, I don't even really. Oh, where'd that go? Okay, that one goes up there. I don't even spend the time to do a whole lot of cleaning. I mean, I'll clean to clean because you got to clean to make your house look clean, but I'm not going to go like dust every little nook and crevice in between the counters. That takes too long. Grab a rag and go, okay, good enough. You can't see it from the hand width. Oh, that's good. Oh, Pepsi and Twix. All right, good combination. Pepsi and Twix burps are okay. They are approved. They are tasty and they yummy the second time around. But oh yeah, that's my dead vape. Well, not dead. It has low juice content, which I've been rocking these geek bars because these are actually really good and they last for fucking ever. Like, if you watch how much I vape during my podcasts and my streams and everything, think of how bad it is at work. Think of if I was still smoking. I would spend more time outside smoking. I'd be like the maintenance supervisor. I would spend more time outside smoking. When we need to go find him, we don't go to his office. We go out to the smoking section. If he's not out there, then we don't know where the fuck. Then we go to his office. If the light's off, then we know he's not there. It's kind of bad when you have to do that analogy. And everyone knows it too. But yet I'm the one who gets in trouble because I'm making a phone call and I'm messaging my kid because she needs to know something and I'm messaging her. This is why I don't get an email. And this is why I probably am on the short list at work of you cannot do these things and you cannot say these things. See what he does? Don't listen to him. Unless he is telling you how to run the machine, all the things that he's going to tell you is probably fucking with you. Like when you tell the new forklift driver, he goes, "Where does this go?" "It's in the stainless aluminum bin." And they go out there and they go, "There's one bin for stainless and one bin for aluminum. Which one is it?" And then you get yelled at by your lead man because you made him drive back and forth. Hey, I like fucking with people. Or when you tell them to go get the aluminum magnet. There is a couple types of aluminum that are actually magnetic. It's 3042B. it has a higher metal content, or iron content. It will actually rust, and you can pick that shit up with a fucking magnet, which is hilarious to fuck with the new guys with, because you'll see it and you'll use the magnet on it, and they'll go, "It's aluminum." Yeah, this is an aluminum magnet. So you'll pick up the aluminum, you'll pull the parts later on, you'll run another piece of aluminum. They'll go grab that same magnet and try to pick it up, and they can't. And then you're on the ground laughing and getting yelled at because you're an asshole, even though your boss goes, "Dude, that was fucking genius." As you can proceed to tell, I've gotten in my fair share of in troubles at work because of how I act. It is what it is. I do what I do, and I enjoy having fun at work. I'm not all serious. I'm not a company man. I'm not a corporate man. Obviously, you can see why I'm on here being a jackass half the time, or just mouthing off about random shit. Like what's going on in Florida right now. I don't know what's going on in Florida, but there's probably something. It would not take very long to Google search it. Somebody is driving on the snow. And that snow sounded very fucking crispy. My neighbor has like 10 fucking cars parked in his backyard. I don't know how many people live in my neighbor's house, but I know there's like 10 fucking cars all the time in the backyard. But that sounded really crunchy. That means it's cold outside. And the older you get, the more you know that the weather is going to change and do different things, which is so much fun. Like my boy, Sam, the Korean axe murderer. That dude has been posting weather updates 3 days in advance before frontal lobes hurting, migraine, horrible headache, massive pressure shift. Me, my knees have been killing me. My lower back's been killing me. I laid down earlier and I had to do something and damn near thought I died because my back cramped up so fucking bad while I was laying there. It was one of the more painful things that I've had to deal with lately. So there is that. And also, speaking of fun, humorous things, one of my friends posted on Facebook a meme. What if Facebook showed mutual sex partners instead of mutual friends? You know, this would all be fine and dandy, except I'm pretty sure there's some married people out there that have been like, "I know, honey, I've only been with you," that have 37 fucking mutual partners and friends that were your friends that they fucked. See, so there'd be somebody having a lot of explaining to do. Other people would be like, "Did you do this person?" Yeah. Other people would be like, "No, actually, I don't remember doing that one." But that's where bad nights of drinking and horrible drug use comes into play. Would be interesting to actually, well, actually, no, it wouldn't. There's probably some people on there that for everybody out there, you'd be like, "You did that one? Or you did them? How desperate were you?" But we've all had those dry spells. We've all gone through that kind of shit. It happens from time to time, or some people more than others. Be really fun to be hearing the people who are like, "I'm a virgin. We have 14 mutual sex partners and they're all females." Care to explain that? "Well, I've never had sex with a dude." Well, that doesn't make you a fucking virgin, now does it? You've still had sex, you dirty whore. It happens. We all know it does. We all know those people who are those things. Pretty sure I've been called one of those many times. Oh well, it is what it is. Obviously, it doesn't bother me anymore. You do a lot of things for money, especially in college. Those books are expensive, even though I didn't go to a regular college. Let that one sink in and y'all figure that one out. Vaping, vaping, clouds are fucking forming. It is like, oh god, what is the weather right now? I shall check out my weather, see if we have a new winter weather advisory update. Other than I was 10 minutes outside of work leaving after I left work, I was about 10 minutes outside of town and I get a message from my boss. "We're having a late start at 9 o'clock." I'm not sure if he meant 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. He was not very specific with this. So if it's 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to show up because fuck that. That's way too late on a Friday for me to be showing up to work. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Mm, maybe. There is right now where I'm at. There's a 70% chance of heavy snow. Either it is a large. See, some of these things I like having fun with words, even though people decide to say that I don't know and I'm not educated enough. But when you say heavy snow, is that a large amount of snowfall that you're doing, or is it like another word for heavy is weight? Or is there a large weight of snow? Or, unfortunately, how some of us grew up in the 90s, heavy could also be a fat person. But you should not fat shame because you don't know who's listening. But, like, see, those are three different versions of heavy. Which one is it? Is it a large amount of snow at the same time where I can't see a fucking thing? Is it fat snowflakes? Boy, we're not being politically correct whatso fucking ever right now. I'm pretty sure I offended like 37 groups right there with that comment. Better watch out. I'm doing what I do because I am me. So we've got large amounts of snow that you can't see through. You've got fat snowflakes, or you've got really weighted snow where it's just crushing down on everything. Which one is it? How do we know? They need to explain these things a little bit better. I mean, you can twist a lot of things around. Like a booty call is literally just a fart. I mean, I made a video about it because I found the humor in this. This is where my fucked up brain goes. This is why I'm a goddamn squirrel 90% of the time. This is why I can't have normal conversations with normal people. See, I only deal with weirdos, freaks, and yahoos and yahoos. I think yahoos and yahoos are two different groups of people. I'm not 100% sure. I might have to actually Google that one. But when you really look at it in the whole aspect of things, when you try to have a normal conversation, they expect you to have a certain elegance about yourself in the way that you're supposed to conduct yourself. The only times that I will conduct myself appropriately is either A, when I'm in court, or B, I'm in court to go to jail, or when I'm talking to the police and trying to get out of whatever trouble that I'm in. Those are situations that you have to be very cordial and understand exactly what you are doing and how you are saying things because they write every goddamn thing down. So if you sit there and go, "No, Your Honor, I think you should go fuck yourself," they're going to write that down and be like, "And when you said, Your Honor, you can go fuck yourself, would you care to explain on that one?" No. Pretty sure that was pretty self explanatory. Pretty sure that was pretty self explanatory. Fuck me. Fuck me. I'm not into guys. Thank God. Thank God. You're bringing up religion in the courtroom. Shit. Shit. Stop writing down what I'm doing. But see, there are certain, but like, I can't go to like normal places where normal people are, where they're dressed all normal and nice. I don't fit in. I usually get weird looks. I don't act my age. Like, how many parents go to their children's parent teacher conference? And as a parent, you always want to hear that your kids are doing good and they're behaving and all this stuff. But from first grade all the way to my oldest daughter's senior year, has been nothing but great compliments. I'm not going to discredit her. She's a good kid, slightly biased because she's mine. But she's very quiet. She does her work. She's very well behaved. And I just finally said, you know what? Fuck it. Just one time. I want to show up and be like, she's a royal pain in the ass. She doesn't listen. She doesn't do what we ask her to do. Like, I just wanted that. It's not that much to ask. It's not that hard to get. Apparently, from this one, it was a little more of a challenge than I thought it would be. So, I mean, seeing the teachers' reactions when you say stuff like that, they're like, "You want what?" Look, I know she's a good kid. I know she does her homework. I know she got what she got in your class, like a 98. Actually, she got a 99.2. Oh, yay. Just for once, she's a pain in the ass. She doesn't listen, and she does exactly whatever the fuck she wants. Then I could have been like, that's my kid. Do you like her dad? But I didn't get those. But I am also at the time very appreciative of when I go into parent teacher conferences as a parent and you hear that your kid is well behaved and they are doing good and they're listening and they're doing the assignments. It's always great to hear, like, good. I'm glad they're not like anything like me. I am so sorry for what my parents had to go listen through at parent teacher conferences, especially when you find out years later. Well, actually, no. I knew about this one before I got this guy in class as a teacher because I was telling my dad which teachers I had, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like him. Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, she'll help you get through things. Okay, you know that one, and you know that one. Of course I do. And I've got this one as my math teacher. Oh God, I can't stand him. Really? I mean, for about the like the first semester, I was still the new kid in school. I was a teacher's kid, so I had to. There's a certain level of behavior that I had to be in. But the moment that that sank in, my dad doesn't really like him. He doesn't really like my dad because he would always call on me about certain things. Uh, would follow me around the school to make sure I was going where I was supposed to. And then I proceeded to start getting mouthy. And like the one day that I was trying to sleep and he calls on me and I look up and he goes, "Do you know what the answer is?" And I'm staring at the problem. And he goes, "Well, see, if you weren't asleep," I go, "X equals 5." He goes, "No, that's not the," I go, "X equals 5. Check it." He proceeds to check it and goes, "Well, how'd you get that?" I go, you do this, and there's your answer. But you need to show your work. How? I get the same fucking answer, and I didn't even write anything down, and I figured it out in my head. Obviously, I don't need your stupid little fill out this, do all this. It's 10 extra steps. I'm not doing that. Fuck you. I didn't say the fuck you part, but I explained why I wasn't doing it. I was like, it's extra, it's a waste of steps. I was like a 14-year-old kid. I wasn't going to say fuck you to a teacher, especially not when you knew all the principals and assistant principals on first name basis because you've known them the whole time you lived in that town. Not because you were a troublemaker, because your dad was a teacher and you were always up there doing stuff like riding your bicycle through the high school when nobody else was there, being in grade school. It was a cool thing. Not many people have that story. Also, you find a whole lot of cool hiding spaces and shortcuts and everything. So when you are being followed by teachers, you can dip down a hallway, dip around this corner, dip through here, and cut through this classroom, and still get to where you need to. And they can't find you, and they're trying to figure out where you're at. And you're actually in the class you're supposed to be in. They get all pissy at you. How did you get here? I got the class. What direction did you go? What route did you take? None of your damn business. I spent a lot of time up here on my own on weekends and in the dark. Literally, we didn't turn on the hall lights. He didn't want to. But it's fun, it's exciting, and it does make for interesting stories and content, especially when you proceed to his retirement party. You're drinking with a whole lot of teachers that you went while you were in high school, were either A, your teacher, or B, you've known forever, and you're sitting there drinking beers with them. The best one was when this one lady, I got approval to wear the t-shirt, not this t-shirt, but the shirt that I was wearing that night. I had to get it approved because it's my dad's retirement thing, so I had to follow all his guidelines. And it goes, uh, I have the treat. It's something about like, don't worry, I'm a. Oh, I don't even remember. I'd have to look at the shirt again. But I'm wearing the t-shirt. I walk out of my dad's house. First lady there, they're introducing everybody. This is so and so. Oh, how do you know him? I was like, "Hey, Dad, how do I know you?" And he kind of does the head down thing. He knew this one was going to come. He just didn't realize it was going to be in the first 30 seconds of me getting there. Oh, and oh, so you're his son? Yeah. I'm going to go smoke now. I need to get the fuck away from you people, or I'm going to get. He's like, please don't overdo it on the alcohol. Don't worry. I have no intention of. because I am still hungover from last night when I went out with all my friends from Salina. It was not my wisest decision or my smartest decision, but I did have some fun. And then proceeded to have a hangover and help set up all the fucking tents outside in like 80-degree weather in the beating sun, sweating the hangover off, which is probably one of the most unglorious things ever about a hangover, especially when you have to work the next day or do stuff like sweat, and then you got to sweat out the hangover. It's 10 times fucking worse. It's miserable. It's ungodly a pain in the ass. And like right now, I'm over here checking all my Facebook stuff as well. And uh it's always kind of fun. Uh Lately I've been getting people have been seeing my reaction review videos, which is a good thing. I enjoy that, especially when I've got people asking me. They're sending me clips of songs, and I was like, dude, that's fucking brutal as hell. Hey, would you be able to do a reaction review video for us? I saw you do one from this other band, and it's really cool when people are checking your stuff out and then they're sending you their band stuff and asking you. uh I think I had 3 conversations going about different bands asking to do reaction review videos. Luckily, this weekend is supposed to be cold as hell, and I only know of 4 times I am going to be leaving the house, and those 4 times are not for very long. Time 1, Friday, take my kid to work. Time 2, pick my kid up from work because I don't think his great grandma needs to be out giving him a ride because she gets it's her time to hang out with him and she gets to talk to him and do all that fun stuff. And I think with the weather, she doesn't need to be getting out in this. I'm perfectly fine with it. So, and then the other 2 times are taking my son to work and picking him up from work because it's supposed to be cold. So I'm literally either A, going to be working on recording reaction review videos for a lot of bands that I've been getting asked to do reaction review videos for, or I've been making posts and bands that comment and stuff like that. I'm gonna be going through there. I've got a still a large amount to go through, but they do take a little bit of time to well, they don't take a whole lot of time to shoot. They take like 10, 15 minutes to shoot, a little bit of time to edit, take out a couple little snippets, and then put the thing together and then put it out and write my review for it that I post in there with it when I share it to all the social media stuff. It's the way that I do things and it works for it. But there's been a lot of people because, and they're very appreciative of it and they really like what I'm doing because with it being a lot of the underground music scene, it underground music scene is phenomenal, especially like in Kansas and Nebraska because those are where I frequent quite a bit. But I've done reaction review videos for numerous bands in different states and checked out some of the scenes down there, and their underground music scenes are just phenomenally packed with incredible talents. And being one of the only people that like there aren't a whole lot of people that do reaction review videos for underground bands because it's a horrible way to look at it. Like if you're trying to make money off of YouTube and you want to make a large amount of money off of YouTube, who's going to bring more views? The popular music, the popular bands, the mainstream bands, the ones that are on the big tours, the big bill bands. Uh Doing a reaction review video for a band that's been around for 40 years and the song's been on the radio for 40 years. Just first time hearing Metallica's Inner Sandman. Yeah, okay, nice try. Pretty sure this is the phone call that I need to hear. Yes. Yes, I want to hear the. That was not the phone call that I'm pretty sure the kids were expecting. Seeing how we're already having a late start at work, it's starting to snow right now. I can't really see out the window because I put up a cool cover over my window so it'll stay dark because the light sucks in the morning, especially when you're up really fucking late and really early. I'm waiting for the phone call from the high school to sit there and say that we are closed tomorrow, or they're going to have to go to school. I get a late start, so I don't have to be up super fucking early, but I'm going to be up super fucking early anyways because if I don't set the alarms and it's a 9 o'clock start time, I'm not going to wake my ass up and be there at 9 o'clock if I've got to drive in shitty weather. Because the last time we had a late start, I didn't make it because it was a snow day. Because I'm an adult and I have vacation time and I didn't feel like driving in. But you can't get in trouble if you don't feel safe driving in. They made that very clear. I still caught shit for it, but I was okay with it because this way I can come back in the next day and actually do shit because that's the advantage of living out of town. If I lived in town, and be like, I can't come in, the roads are too bad. Yeah, bullshit. You live 3 fucking blocks away. Get your ass in here. Nice try, nice excuse. Get over here. I live 30 minutes from work, so I got to drive there every morning. And like, look, I don't feel safe driving. I don't know what the roads were. I didn't leave the goddamn house, but that's not the point. When all the weather apps are sitting there literally saying, do not drive unless it is an emergency. And even then, is it really an emergency? Are you having a heart attack? Do you have to go to the hospital? Did you sever your hand off? Did you super glue your hand to your wanker? Did you super glue your hand to your vagina? I mean, are they really emergencies? Can you not treat this at home? Couple of those, the super glue ones, I would probably go to the hospital for. Be like, yes, this is an emergency. Fix my shit now. That's funny. I went from people on here, like it shows me a view counter. And I went for people and I said, talking about super gluing hands to penises and vaginas. And suddenly, whoop, and gone. That was awesome. Or it could also just be the social media algorithm because trying to figure out some of this stuff is so damn confusing because I'll get done. It'll be like, you had consistently 5 viewers and this many people tuned into your stream and this many people watch this. And I'm going, I didn't see that. But I also can sit here and talk 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 for no amount of time and no amount of rhyme or reason and be perfectly content with hearing the rambling of my own ideas and thoughts, which I'm over here checking now. Not my own ideas and thoughts. I can social media check and do all that fun stuff. Okay, so there has been some views on here. Uh my short for the time is popping. Oh my god. Somebody literally just watched the first video for my channel, which I posted about 3 years ago. And damn, they're like going back. I just had a couple of videos that are fairly old and people haven't really watched in a while. Like opening my first magnet thing. That was when I started my channel. My whole idea and concept was going to magnet fish. Unfortunately, I live in an area that's usually under drought most of the summer, and metal detecting is a way better option, but yet I still have all my magnets so I can go out and magnet fish. I've got a shit ton of content that I've been going through and trying to edit at the same time because I started looking. I've got like 4 hours worth of magnet fishing videos that for some reason got stuck on a hard drive in a folder titled AA videos, not for Alcoholics Anonymous or Asshole Anonymous. It was just the labeling because each folder was like AA, BB, CC, DD. Who doesn't love double D? And the way that I labeled them, like I didn't put anything under that. It was just that was a thing. I grabbed everything from SD cards and stuck it in that folder. The next day, different folder. And I never labeled anything, which I am working on doing a better organization skill in 2024 because that's been something I've been lacking on. Right now, I have a whole shitload of gaming videos because I can massively edit those and walk away and go do laundry or fold clothes or what is it? Fucking gray hair. God damn it, that one's probably mine. That's bullshit. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I'm mumbling to myself because I'm trying to I figure out the logic of where that gray hair came from. Huh. I wonder. Eventually, I'm gonna have to change my name to Whitebeard the hippie. Just gonna makes me sound like fucking higher level wizard and really fucking old. Redbeard sounds like a pirate, like I'm gonna go fuck some shit up, which, depending on the day of the week, might actually happen. Gotta love my Pepsi. Also, way better for me than the Mountain Dew because the Mountain Dew's been giving me acid reflux because I'm a young spring chick or some shit like that. Which those type of phrases always you have to look at what they were meant about and what they were said about, and half of them don't translate into days anymore. Like my mom always kept saying to me, when you can do that when pigs fly. Pigs flying. How do you get pork over to other countries? You put it on a plane, you fly. There, pigs flying. Ha! Figured it out. Loophole. Don't take any wooden nickels. Where the fuck do you get a wooden nickel from? I've been looking. I found one time. I didn't have the $15 to buy a wooden nickel, which the price of the wooden nickel didn't make a goddamn bit of sense to me. So I proceeded not to take the wooden nickel, mainly because it was $15. I wanted it just so I could say, look, I got a wooden nickel. I'm kind of one of those little smart asses. If you haven't figured out by now, or any of the content that I have on most of my channel, I'm usually being a smartass or a comedian, where I'm funny. Or people think I'm funny. People laugh sometimes. I don't know if they're laughing at my jokes or laughing at me. Either way, somebody's laughing, somebody's having fun. And I mean, see me at work. I will clap at everybody when they're doing a good job. Helps in morale, and it's encouraging. And they usually are smiling and laughing at me. One guy, our way of saying hello to each other is going blap. And it's funny because if there's certain people in the area, he will not flip me off, which I find is extremely comical and hilarious. Me, on the other hand, there will be the bosses behind me, and I will walk up going like this so they can't see it. I just want to see him turn around and flip me off to see that the bosses are behind me. It'd be hilarious. And this will show you the level of where I stand on things. Bosses were behind him. He pulled the same move on me. Flips me off, thinks he's being slick, and out of nowhere, I blam! Double up, middle fingers, throwing the bird, flipping the bird. It was hilarious because he's just like, I can't believe you did that. I don't care. I will flip anybody off. I will flip school kids off. I will flip off the cops below the door because I don't want to get pulled over for inciting something or whatever the hell thing they do with that. I don't know how it all works. But I do know simple things. I enjoy having fun. I enjoy laughing. I enjoy not taking things too seriously. I know how to take a joke, unlike some people in the world who can't take a fucking joke, but yet they can take a dick. I mean, you can take a dick, you can take a joke. Let's see. Who are some of the other ones? Like right now, Kevin Hart is getting fucking reamed by Cat Williams. And I started following some of that stuff. That is freaking hilarious. Like the level of pity that these guys, or the level of pettiness that some of these guys show. Cat Williams is literally taking Kevin Hart's ex-wife out, who has been known to write jokes for Kevin, and is giving her a shot at opening his comedy tour. I think that is fucking hilarious because it's going to show certain levels of who's writing jokes, who's the actual funny one. Some people can deliver the jokes really well. Some people, well, are just the joke. We all know those people who are just a joke. I mean, but at the same point in time, they usually have earned that title. It's not just because we're being mean. Like you earn certain titles. Like if you're the complainer at work, or you're the bitchy guy at work, or you're the crybaby, usually earn those titles. It's not just given to you because you're like, dude, I feel like shit. I shouldn't be here. Okay, he's the crybaby. We'll send his ass home. No, it doesn't work that way. Most of the nicknames and titles that you get through work and companies like that, you have earned those titles. You have earned those things. I did not earn Redbeard. I merely adapted it and came with it. I mean, it's kind of not a very original nickname that my boss, he goes, "Hey, Redbeard, what?" Oh, shit. Seem to be good at sticking myself into nicknames. One of the more creative nicknames that I had when I worked at a company in Salina, I was called Herkenut because I picked up something heavy and got a fucking hernia. Who would have thought? Even though I'd done that 100 fucking times before, just that time it didn't work out for me. And I fucking scuffed up my new boots that day. I was so pissed. I was more pissed that I scuffed up my brand new boots that I paid for than I did trying to rip my finger off and getting a hernia. This shows where levels of on things are. Oh, let's see. What other random stuff can we talk about? Because we've got all kinds of randomness that we've been going on here. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Water's good. Gatorade sucks. Well, Gatorade's good. Water sucks, depending on which side of that movie you're on. But vodka is better because vodka looks like water and can trick people into thinking you're getting hydrated where you're not. And you're going to be way more insane. Me and vodka are not always the most friendliest drinks when I used to drink. I do make a lot of comments about drinking or things like that. Just so people know, I have been almost stone sober. Almost. I still have a random few sips here and there. I don't remember really the last time I went out and bought alcohol or got alcohol for myself. Uh it's been a while. But I mean, finishing a drink, it's been at least 2 years before I really have gone where I've had an actual full beer to myself or a full mixed drink to myself. Yeah. But even before then, before I had a sip of somebody's beer, it had been almost a year. So, I mean, I have a lot of responsibilities to my kids, to certain, well, kids, even though they said I'm not allowed to drink anymore. And then I proceeded to take a drink of water and they yelled at me because I'm drinking again. I wonder where they get being a smartass from. Hmm. I take pride in that. It's a lot of work to be this mentally insane and unstable, but yet, eh, I enjoy it. I have fun. Also, let's see, where are we going from here with being mentally unstable? Let's go to dating apps. That's a good way to segue. Dating apps lately have been a little weird because everybody wants to know why you're on there. What are you on here? What are you looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for. How the fuck do you think I'm on here? We tried it. It was a little weird. Especially the spam people. You should add me on this. The fuck is this? What app is this? Is it an app? Is it a website? What is it? You should add me. I don't talk on here. Okay, listen here, genius. You're already messaging me on this app. Why the fuck don't we talk on this one? Why do I have to have 37 other different fucking social media apps that I already have an ass ton of social media in the first place? So I think we're going to get away from the dating apps and the dating sites and just more focus on me because especially when you tell them that you have 3 kids and they're like, "Oh, so you get them on the weekends?" No, they live with me full time. Your kids wait, you're a guy, you have custody of your kids? Well, I've got custody of 2 of them. Well, what about the 3rd one? Does she live with her mom? No, no, she lives on her own because she's almost fucking 21 and she's going to school way out yonder, which is fucking asshole drive to where she lives. But I still make the trip out there, and it's funny because most of the people don't understand the fact that guys can have custody of their children, and it's not saying that the other parent is a bad person. It's just sometimes one delivers more stability than the other one does, or one has things that the other one doesn't have. And it's nothing against the other parent, just sometimes it works out that way. And so when you tell them that and the looks that you get, well, so you can't go hang out on like Friday? Well, depends. Can I ditch my kids for a couple hours? Maybe. Mainly because they're old enough that I can do those type of things where I can be gone for a few hours to go out and do something. But going out and doing something usually involves like meals, money, shit I don't want to do. Cold outside. I don't want to leave the house. And when you tell them that you go magnet fishing and they're like, oh, so like regular fishing? No, no. You throw a fucking magnet in the water and you pull up metal. Well, do you do regular fishing? Well, I have fishing poles. I just don't have a fishing license. And it's illegal to fish in the Midwest without a fishing license unless you're on a private property. And even then, you better know whose property you're on fishing, or you might get shot at because Midwest people don't fuck around with that. You get on their property, they're going to shoot at you with a shotgun. Not that I've had that done firsthand or anything like that by cutting through a cornfield in the middle of Kansas, but things have happened. I do have a wild array of stories. I thought I heard one of the children coming downstairs, which I do hear one of the children coming downstairs. He's probably going to go moo. Okay, so he's going to sound like a weird ass Chewbacca. Okay, so he sounds like Chewbacca who's been working on speech, uh, enunciating his Chewbaccian words. Or he sounds like a Pee Wee Herman who's got to take a shit. It's Pee Wee Herman's Chewbacca version. Yep, that is Pee Wee Herman's Chewbacca version in the other room making his weird noises. What are we fixing? Hot Pocket, all right. I know you're fixing a Hot Pocket. It's the only thing you put in the microwave. You don't eat the other stuff that I have that goes in a microwave, and we have no leftovers because I ate those. Yeah, I'm sorry. You didn't want them anyways. I was hungry and you weren't. Nah, I know you're a pain in the ass. That made him cry. I made him cry because I called him a pain in the ass because he knows it's true. I think he just told me to shut up in Chewbaccian words. No, but he said he's got to take a shit right now. That got him to quiet down. So, in Chewbaccian words, that means go take a shit. Or he pinched his finger in something that he shouldn't be putting it in. And now he's turned into a goddamn zombie. All right. What a weird house I live in. I need to have an exorcism. Yeah, exorcism is the right word because I was going to say an exercise. And no, he laughed at that one in Chewbaccian words. We're going to exercise. We'll get an exercise bike and a treadmill and some weightlifting things and some running shoes, and we'll go for a run. Well, you'll start running when the dogs start chasing you. As he's carrying his kitten through the house. So adorable. I think he's trying to pull an Ozzy Osbourne and eat the head of the kitten. He just laughed in a diabolical manner. I'm a little concerned and a little confused about this one. Somebody should go check on him. I'm not checking on him. He's gonna bite the head off a kitten. Mm-mm. That's all. Hey, I'm using your coaster finally. He made me this cool coaster like a year ago in school artwork wood class something. Two flintlocks. So now I have it sitting next to my because it was sitting next to my bed and he goes, "You don't even have pop over there. You don't even use the coaster that I made you." So I proceeded to go get the coaster and set an empty can of pop on it just to get him to leave me alone about it. So now ta-da, I'm using the coaster. And that is me using the coaster like a true fucking adult. I think adults use coasters, don't they? I don't know. I'm not using the coaster. Well, I'm using the coaster. I'm just not being an adult. As you can obviously tell, I'm being a slight smartass and a jackass. and I'm kind of wondering what that social media post was. Huh. Huh. All right. All right. There's retro shirts available for Metal Manifesto, which is always cool. I always like watching the KZUM stuff. I've also been recently looking into what it takes to get uh media packs passes for like events. So I've been looking into that. I've got to do some more research and more things into that and to get those things figured out. But I've been on here for a little bit over an hour and I've got a few housework things I've got to do and some more video posting, and I might actually skip some of the video posting and just go and watch some TV for a little bit. So thanks for tuning in. Until the next week, we will be back doing this once a week. I don't know if I'm going to start doing it on Tuesdays again or stay on Thursdays. Tuesdays might seem a little bit better. It's early in the week and I can still think. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until the next one, stay tuned. I got a shitload of stuff coming out.